What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NBA playoffs. Monday, April 29th. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's NBA slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay, who do we have at the point guard position? I like Damian Lillard from the Portland Trailblazers playing the Denver Nuggets, who have the 8th best defense overall, and they give up the 4th fewest fantasy points to opposing point guards. Damian Lillard has scored 78, 42, and 50 fantasy points in the last 3 games of the playoffs, averaging 45.4 fantasy points per game on the season in an average of 35 minutes per game with a 30% usage rate. He's been playing 36 to 45 minutes a game the last 3 games. Damian Lillard is $9,200 DraftKings salary. He's $800 more on FanDuel, projected at 49.5 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.4 times value. Damian Lillard's been on fire. He's going to be playing almost the whole game. He's really stepped it up in the playoffs. It's going to be a fast-paced game, so I love Damian Lillard here versus the Denver Nuggets. So our DFS tools for MLB baseball are now live and working. You can click on the MLB tab to change sports and check the tools out for baseball. They're really helpful. They're going to save you guys a ton of research time. Remember, we added projected ownership, and that will be updating throughout the day as injury news changes. We also added the fantasy points per minute stat here for each player, and we also added a stat that's new to the industry. We call it the hit percentage, and it's the percent chance this player has to hit value at his current DFS salary. And you can access all these new stats even on mobile devices by tapping the dash rank icon. Okay, who do we have at the shooting guard position? I like Redick from the Philadelphia 76ers playing the Toronto Raptors, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall, and they give up the 8th fewest fantasy points to opposing shooting guards. Redick has scored 26, 16, and 13 fantasy points in the last 3 games of the playoffs, averaging 27.4 fantasy points per game on the season in an average of 31 minutes per game with a 22% usage rate. Redick has been awful in this playoff series. He finally came through and got hot last game, scored 26 fantasy points in 32 minutes. Redick is $4,700 DraftKings salary. He's $200 less on FanDuel, so I love that FanDuel price. Projected at 27 fantasy points here tonight, that's 5.7 times value. There's an implied total of 220.5 points in this game. It doesn't take long for Redick to get hot and hit value. Once he gets going, he can rack up those points pretty quick. So I like Redick here versus the Toronto Raptors. I'm really excited to announce we added a new DFS tool to Draft Dashboard. We call it the Mass Lineup Optimizer. Some of you may know it as the Late Swap Optimizer. This tool allows you to download your entries from DraftKings, optimize them with custom exposure settings, and then upload them back to DraftKings. Let me show you how it works. First, you need to enter your DraftKings entries to the contest you want to play. In this case, I have 20 quarter entries and 20 50-cent mini maxi entries, and I've downloaded them from DraftKings and uploaded them here to Draft Dashboard. So you can see here, it's optimizing 40 lineups, and we can set some custom settings here. Within 1,000 max salary, minimum projected points, and we have max exposure enabled per player. So I'll show you how that works after we optimize for the first time. So now it's optimizing those 40 lineups using all our custom settings. Watched players, locks, excludes, and custom exposures. Okay, it's done. And we can see our player exposure report right here. So we have 74% Patrick Beverley, 70% Curry, 70% Lou Williams. I like that, but too much Patrick Beverley. So I'm gonna knock him down to 50% max exposure. Tap to edit, change, and it will automatically update. Now down here, I see it only used 18% JaMychal Green, and I want more of him. So I'm gonna up his exposure to 35% and then click this lock icon. So we'll try and force that player into 35% of my lineups. You can exclude a player here by clicking the exclude icon. Now we click delete and optimize again and it will load the mass lineup optimizer screen again. Make sure your settings are how you want them, and now we can re-optimize these lineups using our new settings. So here we go. New lineups are done, and you can see it used 50% Patrick Beverley and 35% JaMychal Green. So now if we like these exposures, we can click Export Lineups, and we take that file and upload it back to DraftKings Edit Entries page. We just optimized and updated 40 lineups. This tool comes in huge for players announced in the starting lineup or late-breaking injury news, like the Joel Embiid situation. Okay, let's take a look at the small forward position. I like Kawhi Leonard from the Toronto Raptors playing the Philadelphia 76ers, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall, and they give up the 11th most fantasy points to opposing small forwards. Kawhi Leonard has scored 70, 42, and 53 fantasy points in the last 3 games of the playoffs, averaging 45.3 fantasy points per game on the season and an average of 34 minutes per game with a 31% usage rate. Kawhi Leonard is $9,000 DraftKings salary. He's $700 more on FanDuel, projected at 43.8 fantasy points here tonight. That's 4.9 times value. There's an implied total of 220.5 points in this game. This is a home game, a fast-paced game. Kawhi Leonard dropped a 70 burger on the Philadelphia 76ers last game. He's the man in charge now. So I love Kawhi Leonard here versus the Philadelphia 76ers. Real quick guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the position optimizer where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new player trends tool where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups. Okay, who do we have at the power forward position? I like Al-Farouq Aminu from the Portland Trailblazers playing the Denver Nuggets. So we know the Denver Nuggets have a good defense. Al-Farouq Aminu has scored 20, 36, and 24 fantasy points in the last 3 games of the playoffs, averaging 23.6 fantasy points per game on the season and an average of 28 minutes per game with a 14% usage rate. Al-Farouq Aminu is $4,300 DraftKings salary. He's $1,200 more on FanDuel, so I love that DraftKings price. Projected at 25.6 fantasy points here tonight. That's 6 times value. There's an implied total of 216 points in this game. This is one of my favorite value plays today on DraftKings. I love Al-Farouq Aminu here versus the Denver Nuggets. Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $100 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won, and then we'll send you $100 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you. Okay, moving on to the center position. I like Nikola Jokic from the Denver Nuggets playing the Portland Trailblazers, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall and they're middle-of-the-pack defending opposing centers. Nikola Jokic has scored 66, 79, and 49 fantasy points in the last 3 games of the playoffs, averaging 48.8 fantasy points per game on the season and an average of 31 minutes per game with a 28% usage rate. The Joker has played 32 to 43 minutes in the last 3 games of the playoffs, and he's $10,000 DraftKings salary, $1,300 more on FanDuel, projected at 56.9 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.7 times value. Nikola Jokic has been on fire. They need him on the court to win. He's a triple-double waiting to happen. So I love Nikola Jokic here versus the Portland Trailblazers. If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smiggity smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.